Hi, our mortals. For a long time I was hesitant about this review. Since 2021, 2022 I had this dilemma, but finally I decided to make it. I had doubts for such a long time because in my previous reviews I listened to an artist's entire discography, but I was worried that with Kim it could take too long. Because since the beginning of his music career in early 2000s he made and participated in 12 projects, and each project is already a discography on its own. That was the issue that concerned me. Fortunately, I decided to expand and experiment with formats on my YouTube channel what increased chances for this review to be made. I'm not interested anymore to search through different sources and 101st time to tell an artist's date of birth and in which city he was born. It's corny. Kim Carlsson's art resonates with me greatly and has a huge influence on me as a person and an artist. Thus, I prefer to make it more authentic and do my personal analysis of his art. In this video, I will not break down every album, but will review his projects in general. Also, I will not focus that much on Lifelover, because I already made a separate video about it. I will leave the link in the description and at the end of this video. I remember the first time when I became aware of Kim Carlsson's music. Obviously, it was through Lifelover. I think I already mentioned in my video about Lifelover that the first song that I've heard from Lifelover was MySpace. I was really impressed by that song and it resonated greatly with the way I felt back then, specifically in that moment when I heard that song. I've heard this song in 2018. It was a really beautiful song in my opinion. Just pretty aggressive song. Usually, DSBM music, the way I knew it back then, the way I understood it, it was pretty minimalistic, the melodies are pretty simple. It was more like a dark ambient music, but with a black metal touch to it. That's how I perceived DSBM back then. But when I've heard Lifelover, I've heard some post-punk elements in Lifelover. I've heard the elements of other music genres, and MySpace was awesome because it sounded very, very aggressive. I really liked it in that moment. I already knew about some DSBM bands, but I think Lifelover kind of stood out for me back then. Yeah, the thing is that the way I felt Lifelover really resonated with me at that moment, and I was happy to discover that band. Don't take me wrong, Lifelover back then was not my favorite band, but I started discovering them more and more, and I listened to Lifelover, I would say pretty regularly. What about Kim Carlsson specifically? I was not really into him as a solo artist yet. I just knew about Lifelover, and that's it. That's all I was into back then. But later, I remember in 2019 I started getting more into Kim's art beyond Lifelover. Before that I kind of knew that he had some of his solo projects, but I was not really interested about listening to them. Not because I didn't like it, just because I didn't know. I just liked Lifelover, and in that moment it was plenty enough for me. In this review, I especially will focus on his main and first project that he started in 2001. That project is called Hypothermia. Specifically speaking about his solo projects, I became interested in them in 2019. The first of his music project that I started getting into, like besides Lifelover, is Hypothermia. Obviously, it's his main project. It's the band that he organized very first. In my, just as I know, it's his first, and of course it's his main project. He started working in Hypothermia even before Lifelover, and actually one of the reasons why Kim joined forces with another members of Lifelover is that because one of the founders, whose name is B, he was really into Hypothermia. So B and Kim, they became friends, and they started making music together. So I started listening to Hypothermia. Some of the first songs by Hypothermia that I've heard were Do Avrenvilja, Melancholy, and Schwingen. I really enjoyed listening to that music, especially when I felt very melancholic or depressed, or just when I had a busy day, and in the evening turning on Schwingen. It was really amazing. One of the best memories that I have in relation to Hypothermia is when I walked in the park during overcast. It didn't rain, but the sky was grey. I suddenly stopped and looked at the ground where the green grass and orange flowers grew. I watched those flowers for a few minutes and thought about Hypothermia's song, which is called Melancholy. It was one of the first songs that I've heard from Hypothermia. The perfect song to listen to during overcast. The perfect song to recommend to your close friend to listen to when he feels wistful. I think also one more thing about Kim Carlsson's project, well, not just Hypothermia, but also other projects. Now I would like to go through the projects that I'm listening to less, but still enjoy listening to occasionally. Kyla, for example. Kyla was another project from him that I really liked a lot. Some really interesting, minimalistic, raw black metal. Sheila. It is one of my favorite of his project. I like this kind of melancholic raw black metal. The project was active between 2004 and 2005. Kim recorded only one full-length album and 3 demos under this project. I asked Kim about Sheila on one of his live streams on YouTube and why it ended so early. On the same stream I found out the name is pronounced as Sheila and not Kyla. He explained that Sheila was a short-lived project because Kim recorded it at his friend's home who lived far away, which made the recording process challenging. He also decided to end this project because he felt as if it was a bit shallow and he wanted to do something else. As I said before, Sheila is one of my favorite of Kim's projects, but I still don't listen to it much, only occasionally, because I rarely get into the mood when that project would resonate with me. In 2020, Kim's music was especially helpful to me. Of course, well, it was the time of COVID pandemic when everyone sat on the isolation, there were lockdowns and curfews. Well, happy that all of that stuff is gone, but I feel very nostalgic about 2020 and 2021 because I find that time unique and special. And there were, of course, plenty of controversial moments about 2020 and 2021, but also there were really beautiful moments. A lot of moments that really make me smile when I think about them. For example, Kim's music helped me a lot during that period in my life. I remember I could just, when I felt very melancholic, I was really happy to listen to his music projects. In 2020, I decided to listen to both albums, Coffee or Blood, and right after that, Coffee or Blood 2, and I'm happy that I did it. It was one of the most nostalgic moments in my life. It was really amazing. Coffee or Blood, I mentioned these two albums a lot of times on my YouTube blogs when I recommended to listen to some black metal albums, for example. That music gave me a lot of warm feelings back then. Just I don't even separate Coffee or Blood and Coffee or Blood 2 because I listen to them together usually. Sometimes I can listen to the songs from this album separately, but usually I listen to both of these albums. Firstly Coffee or Blood, then Coffee or Blood 2. I don't even separate them, I listen to them all together. Both albums are really, really beautiful, some of the best albums in music that I ever heard. Also another album that I heard in 2021, Gratoner. It gave me similar feelings in 2021. Isolationist. This is the project that has only one album from 2008, which is called Home is the Safest Place to Be. It is very expressive music. I would say it is a more edgy version of Life is Pain. I think mostly fans of raw black metal and noise will dig it. Nevertheless, if you skip this project, in my opinion you will not miss much. If you want to take a deep dive into Kim's discography, then it's fine. As a musician myself, I would describe Isolationist as an experimental side project where you make only one album with very edgy and crazy music, and then you close that side project and that's it. One thing that I really appreciate about Kim Carlsson as an artist, it's really a conclusion that I came to in that period when I watched his YouTube blogs, when I listened to lots of his music. I realized that Kim Carlsson is in many ways different than many other black metal artists. The thing is that he is more down-to-earth guy. Let's say it like that. Seriously. He doesn't wear corpse paint, he doesn't look like an edgy teenager. No, he looks normal, he looks like a normal guy. Well, if not considering multiple cuts and multiple scars on his body, if not considering that, like, he looks like a normal guy. He talks like a normal guy when he says something about his worldview, when he says something about his music, especially black metal. He doesn't say some stupid and edgy stuff like, for example, I worship Satan, I worship self-destruction, be afraid of me, I am a demon, I summon demons with my music. No, he doesn't say stuff like that. He never said stupid stuff like that. He's just a pretty normal, down-to-earth guy. Life is Pain. It is a DSBM supergroup which consists of Kim and Trist. Kim was responsible for vocals and Trist for all instruments. The duo released only one album in 2006, which is called Bloody Melancholy. After that, the band broke up. I wouldn't say that this project stands out amongst other DSBM bands, but it is still a very good DSBM music. If you are a huge fan of the genre and still haven't heard Life is Pain, you can check out their album, you will not regret it. On his YouTube channel he also made some live streams, and on many of them I participated, and it felt so exciting. Because the thing is that an artist who influenced you so much, you makes live stream where you can ask him any question you want. Any question. Even the most stupid question, or maybe a question that would resonate with you personally, you can ask that question. It's not something like a professional interview. You can ask him anything, and he most likely will answer to that. I remember once I even asked Kim on his live stream, what's your favorite anime? Not really like I thought it would be a really smart question, I just asked that question for fun, as a joke. And he actually answered. He answered what his favorite anime. Unfortunately, I don't remember which anime he likes the most. Because that live stream where he told it, it was in 2021. It was many years ago, unfortunately. But I was happy he answered to some of my questions. That was one cool thing. It felt like, seriously, it felt really like a conversation with a good friend that you knew for a very long time. That's how it felt. For example, just imagine that obviously all people have their favorite musicians. Just imagine that you can ask some of your favorite musicians whatever questions you want. And that's how it felt for me. It's awesome. Kall. This is another Kim's project that I listen to from time to time, but I still find it very decent. Kall was started after the breakup of Lifelover by its former members. It's a very beautiful, atmospheric and post-black metal. I would describe its sound as something in between Hypothermia and Lifelover. I think it's not the best of Kim's projects, but it is no doubt a great addition to his music portfolio. About Kim Carlsson's solo projects, I found out in a very peculiar way, because I found one video on YouTube where Kim was talking about his art, and in the same video I found out that he is not just musician, but also he is a painter. And also in that video he was explaining about his art. I think he also told that he made some art exhibitions in that time, and it was very interesting to listen, and that's how I became more interested into Kim as a solo artist. In 2019 I found out about his YouTube blog channel, which is called Vemotsorkestern. And I was so interested. I was really so interested. There he posted videos on different subjects about his music projects, about his albums, about different things. For example, even subjects that deeply resonated with him, like depression or things that inspire him in his life, for example, nature. He also was talking about other stuff, for example, his paintings, his tattoos as well. He was answering to fans' questions. First of all, I watched videos obviously related to Lifelover, and then I started watching more and more and more of his videos. It was really awesome. Especially it's awesome to turn on his videos just on the background. While eating, I turned on his videos on my laptop and just watched his videos. It felt awesome, very atmospheric. A Symphony to the Void. This is one of those side projects that makes me admire black metal artists like Kim. It is not a black metal project, it's an ambient project. I absolutely love when black stars make ambient music. A Symphony to the Void is a drone ambient project. It is very hard to find on the internet, but I would recommend you Meditation Loops 1 Strain from 2019. You can find this album on YouTube. This is a high quality ambient. One thing that makes me admire Kim Carlsson and his art so much is the simplicity in his art. Like sincere simplicity, just in his music, also in his other art, like his paintings, for example. Because just to let you know about, in regards to his paintings, they're very abstract. He just draws some patterns and spots and lines on the canvas. I'm not really into that kind of abstract genre of painting, but his paintings, they look pretty interesting, they look pretty nice, because you listen to his music and you can also watch his paintings. Yeah, nice. So just something additional to his music. He also uses paintings and also some symbols and sigils that he draws. He can use it for album cover arts, he can use it for his logos, he can also tattoo them he can also tattoo them. It's very cool, it makes his art even more authentic, you know, because he made music and he also made visuals for that music. It's beautiful. I do it myself, I do the same thing myself. I make album covers and logos for my music, so I understand how it feels when an artist creates visuals for his music. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and I respect it. Nothing But Nothingness is a very beautiful side project from Kim. I would recommend the album called Sverta from 2017. It's the exact same post-black metal that Kim does in Hypothermia. There's no difference at all. This project is a very decent addition to Hypothermia. He didn't make anything very complicated within his art. The simplicity within his art is something that I always admired in it. Ritualmord. This is a post-black ambient project which is very atmospheric. Also music to chill, and it is easy to listen to because the songs last about 3-4 minutes. It is very good for beginners who want to know more about Kim's music. In 2021, suddenly, Kim, he disappeared. He completely abandoned his social networks, his online shop was down. So if you would like to make an order, for example his merch, you can do it on his Bandcamp, but his website, his online store, the site is expired. The thing is, you can still find the link to his online store on his social media, but the link is dead. Also his Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel, they still exist, unlike his website, but he doesn't make any updates there. If you look at his Instagram, the last posts were from 2021. Same about his YouTube channel. His Facebook page, specifically the official Facebook page by Hypothermia, it was abandoned in 2020. This is the list of his side projects, besides Lifelover and Hypothermia, that I enjoy listening to the most. So yeah, he completely abandoned his social networks. He didn't tell anything, he didn't announce anything to anyone. People don't know about what happened to him. Absolutely. Nobody knows whether he is alive or dead. I read on comments on Instagram that somebody wrote that Kim is still alive and well. He is doing fine, he is doing okay, but the information that can confirm it or debunk it, such information doesn't exist yet. I hope it will. I hope it will. I hope that Kim is alright, that he is doing well. Horns Emerging. It is one of my favorite of his side project. It is not so different from Hypothermia, but it is definitely more melodic. There is not much information about this project. Despite that, it is worth listening to because it is the perfect music to get into nostalgia with. If you're a beginner and want to know more about Kim's music, then Horns Emerging is one of those projects that you should start with. What else can I say? Yeah, it just kind of sad thing that he completely abandoned his music. Maybe he still does his music but doesn't post it online. So he abandoned all of his social media since 2021. He doesn't appear. Nobody knows whether he is alive, whether he is well, whether he is how he's doing in general. Just absolutely nothing. Even other members of Hypothermia or other members of his other music projects, they also are silent about how he's doing. Aardling. This one is unusual in Kim's discography. It is not really his band, but he participated there as a guest vocalist. I still want to mention Aardling because it is one of the best projects where he ever participated. This band is so underrated and deserves more popularity. The first Aardling song that I heard was Luminous. I remember that moment clearly and what I felt back then. Holy shit, I was absolutely stunned. That music is super nostalgic and therapeutic. They released only 2 full-length albums, Transmit to Distance in 2019 and Unless We Unravel Ourselves in 2020. After that they disappeared. Aardling, if you are watching this video, come on guys, make some more music, you're awesome. Many people on his social media, especially his Instagram, they write comments like Kim, where are you? Kim, come back. Kim, we miss you, and stuff like that. What's my opinion on that? I think that this situation is really sad. I hope that Kim is alive. I hope he is well, and maybe in the future he will find inspiration to do some updates, to continue with his social networks, to continue with his YouTube channel, I hope he will find inspiration to post more and more of his music on the internet, just because obviously he has audience, he has some reputation in his on the black metal scene. He is obviously not the last person in the black metal scene, he has some reputation. And I hope he will find inspiration and one day he will return. Obviously already many years passed. He abandoned his social media and he completely disappeared in 2021. It's already 2024, but I still hope that he will come back if he's still alive and doing well. I hope so. Consider Suicide. From all of his music projects, of course after Lifelover and Hypothermia, it is one of my favorite. It is very similar to Hypothermia, but much slower and more leaning towards ambient music. I found out about this project in his YouTube blogs, where he mentioned it. According to Kim, he chose such a radical name because he thinks everyone should consider it at some point in their life and decide whether to commit it or not. Kim also added that he decided not to do that. This project was started in 2015 and there he plays all instruments. From this project I would recommend these albums: Gudalik from 2017 and Sveva from 2019. For me it felt as if like losing a good friend, yeah, with whom you've been talking for a long time and then he is gone. Yeah, that's how it feels personally for me. I would be really happy to listen to some of his newer music, even though he already has plenty of music and pretty often I still listen to that, but would be awesome if there was some more of his music. It would be really nice. because his music inspires me a lot and resonated with me a lot and influenced me as a person and as an artist, and not only his music, all of his art. His YouTube blogs, his paintings, it was a really nice experience. Yeah, this is what I think about Kim Carlsson as an artist and his art. If you enjoyed this video, press like, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow. If you don't want to miss any new videos, then press the bell button. Also, if you would like to support my YouTube channel, you can buy my music on Bandcamp. All links will be in the description. Farewell, stay out of hell.